What's up, everyone? JuanBond here, coming to you live from the Draft Manager Studios in Maplewood, Minnesota, to give you a little preview of the Honda Classic here for DraftKings. Well, personally, I was on vacation here for a couple days, so I'm not going to have time to give you the type of article in depth that I normally do. So this is mostly for our subs in the PGA chat and our Slack, the guys who signed up for our services and the guys who are winning some money we see in our Slack every day. And this is just a way to kind of mix up our content and, most importantly, kind of announce some things, what to expect for the upcoming MLB season. You may have seen we just launched our early bird pricing. You can get, I'm going to tell you what it's going to include. And first of all, I want to stress with some other things that have gone on with some of our competitors, optimizers. We got a deal for the early bird where you can add the optimizer for the entire season for $50 and you don't have to worry about it after that. I know some guys like to go week to week, but the early bird for $149 plus the $50 for the opto will get you quite a bit. We got some great tools on top of the optimizer that the $149 includes, hitting and pitching projections daily, cheat sheets. There's a starting lineups page, updated real time with, Fantasy Labs and some of the others that you're used to. But a really cool tool that I used a lot last year, just to kind of get a little bit of an edge, is the no vig Vegas lines. What that means is basically removes the vig is the juice or what the books would take that's kind of added to the lines. So what it does is those give you more precise team run projections. So you'll get 4 or 5 daily articles. We got, of course, picks and pivots for Brian Tulick will be for DK. I'm going to do cash game breakdowns. We got Joe Metz doing the FanDuel breakdown. And, of course, Bucking for Life. Adam Strange is doing the pitching matrix. So plenty of articles. Everything's going to be covered. And on top of that, we're going to do some streams. I'm going to plan on heading them up. It's going to be a first look stream. It's going to be recorded the night before the slate, 9, 10 o'clock as the games are winding down, the previous night's games, and I start digging into the slate. I'm hopefully going to have some guys from the team here join me, when they can. But I'm going to do a quick first look breakdown of the DraftKings, give you my top, pitchers, cash game, GPP pivots, in each tier. Some stacks, maybe some value, maybe some chalk, whatever. Just keep it quick and try and keep it, a half hour with the intentions of, it's something you can put in your car and the drive to work if that's something you do, and, give it a quick listen. So, the other thing we were doing is thinking about, we do have Slack, and guys get better just by bouncing ideas off of each other in there. It's obviously really popular, but we do have with that in chat. You get the best access up to lock. So just to keep that in mind, But let's. I think that covers kind of what I wanted to say for MLB. So let's talk about the Honda Classic. I'm going to switch some screens up here. This is my first golf stream and my first solo stream, so bear with me. Hopefully you can see all that. I might just get out of here. First, let's talk about the course a little bit. So we got the Honda Classic. It's one of the it's at the PGA National, the Champions course. It's a par 70. It's about 7,125 yards or so. One of the top 10 toughest courses, maybe even harder usually. I think average winning scores are like between -6 and -12, somewhere in there. 14 of 18 holes have water hazards. There's 67 bunkers. The rough is 2 inches thick or more in places. So it's a tough course. This is a really tough course. It's going to be, if it's windy, it's going to be harder, and that's always a possibility in Florida there. So what? Sorry, I got a little stretch there. What a couple of things that guys that focus on stats a little more. It looks like you're going to want to target, tee to green always is popular, ball striking and approach, and then put a little more emphasis on around the green play, kind of the closer to scrambling range, there. So, yeah, so win players. And then, let's get right into the plays here. So up at the top, this is going to go up here. Up at the top here. So I like Fleetwood this week. Start right out with that. I'll go over the 10K range here, 4 guys. Fleetwood's just really consistent. He's got the longest streak on tour, not missing cuts by far. He played here a couple years ago and finished 4th. So I like that. So I like Fleetwood here. Make a little quick GPP lineup along the way. Brooksy. I'm going to pass on Brooks this week, but I think he's a viable GPP play. He finished 2nd here last year, but we know, how he's been playing lately. Fowler's a good GPP play for me as well. I don't think I'd play him in cash. Just kind of the recent form isn't, great, but he did win here 2 years ago and tied for 2nd last year. So I'm sorry, he won here in 2017. There was a missed cut in between, but yeah. So Fowler definitely in play, and then no Woodland for me. So moving on, I'm going to try and keep this quick. So moving on down 9K range, we got Rose. Rose and Usti are both going to be fades for me. I think Usti will be kind of popular maybe in GPP. He does kind of grade out pretty decent. Let's see here. I got to give a shout out since I just switched. Well, you might not. Never mind. Of course, I got to give a shout out. I'm sorry. I should have did this back before, but smartgolfbets.com, all my course notes and stuff. I got to thank him. And of course, I got to thank 3 Putts for Par, George. You're the man. You helped me out a little bit this week, giving me some notes and stuff while I was on vacation. So my research was kind of limited, but yeah, shout out to George and definitely Mike Miller, Smart Golf Bets. If you haven't been on the website, you need to check out his sheets, his tournament sheets. It's a must. So yeah, now that those are aside, Usti, what do we got? Not sure why I can't find him here. There we go. Yeah. So it was 6 weeks ago. He had a couple of back-to-back top 5s. I didn't know how long ago it was, so I wanted to look it up there. But since then, he's coming off of 51st place in his last action. But here at the Bear, he's a couple of top 25s in the last 3 years. So I think he might be pretty popular, but I think 97 is just a fade for me. So sorry to waste all that time on Usti. Vic won last week, so I'm going to fade the win hangover at 95. Just too much for me. Definitely a GPP play though. Im's going to be a fade for me too, unfortunately. I think he's not playing good enough for 9,300 right now. Basically is kind of how I assume that. So someone I do like here quite a bit though is Billy Horschel. Horschel's been playing really good. He's back-to-back top 10, so he's got the combo of the form. And the course history here as he, let's see, 2 top 10s here in the last 4 years, and tied for 16th last year. So I think Horschel's going to be pretty popular. I think Fleetwood and Horschel is actually how I'm going to start my cash game lineup too, if I'm being honest. But yeah, let's move down to the next range. I don't want anything to do with Shane Lowry and EVR. I like EVR, but I think he's too expensive for me. I think he's fine for GPP, but I'm out personally. He won't be in my pool. Moving down to the 8K range, Benny On should be pretty popular this week. He is, I think, over the last 50 rounds, number one around the green in the one stat you really want to kind of target a little extra this week. So we all know he can't putt, but I mean, if he gets hot with the putter, somehow he can easily win here. So I don't know. I don't like 8,900 or 8,800, but I'll probably have him in my player pool when it gets down to it tomorrow. So I like On way more than Neiman this week. Neiman's going to grade out pretty well as far as the stats go, but he just hasn't looked confident the last couple of times I've watched him. So Neiman's a pass. Poston, I like Poston. I play Poston a lot. Those who have read my stuff and follow me know that I play Poston a lot, but he hasn't done it for me. So I'm off him this week, even though, he probably won't be very popular, but all the P's, Poulter, Palmer, I'm going to pass. And moving down here, this range is looks like basically from Neiman down to Grillo, it's a huge question mark. It's at your own risk, in my opinion. I think Ryan Palmer might get some love. An 8K Luke List seems crazy. Grillo at your own risk. That's all I have to say about that. So yeah, really in this range for me, Benny On is, if I'm playing one lineup or three, I'm going to have Benny On, and I don't know that I'm going to have anybody else in this range. So moving along to the loaded 7K range. This is why I like this week. I didn't at first with Fleetwood being, you look at it and it's like 11-6 for Fleetwood because he's probably not going to win, but he's made 32 cuts in a row, which is ridiculous. So to have that kind of consistency in scoring, it's a no-brainer for cash games. Basically, I feel the same about Horschel. I think Horschel should be near 10K with back-to-back top nines back-to-back ninth place finishes in his last two. He should be more expensive. So moving on here, I noticed there's kind of two guys priced the same here for the first three price points. There's Vegas, Streelman. So I was just going to compare them one by one quickly. Streelman over Vegas for me. Streelman grades out a little better. I got to turn my page of notes. Streelman grades out a little better, coming off a second place at Pebble. So then you got Harris English or Westwood there at 7,800. Westwood's they're both interesting actually. In GPP, I think they're both viable, but I prefer English. He grades out a little better. Then you got Wolf versus Varner. I can't play. I know Varner's been playing a little better, but I'm not paying over. He's just too overpriced for me. While Wolf hasn't been impressive really either overall, but 7,700's too cheap. I think he's worth a GPP play considering he might be ignored with some of the stuff coming below him. Vaughn Taylor grades out really well, but he's just burned me. He burned me really bad last time I played him, so I'm off him. Somebody else might be on him, but then you got Russell Knox, who's good course fit. He's off my radar just because I'm really on Wyndham Clark here. Clark doesn't grade out well at all, but he's the best putter in the game right now. And for that, it's just I love a guy who can putt, especially when the rest of this tournament is going to be so tough. Hitting putts is going to be vital. So, yeah, let's plug Clark in. And then moving along, no McNeely for me, no Shank. Kokrak's out. The next guy I like down here is probably Sabatini. Good old Rory he's a hit or miss kind of guy. For sure. 2 missed cuts there and then tied for 59th at the Genesis. So he's not playing his best golf, but he did so around the green play, he's top 10 and around the green in that key stat. So it's kind of moving him up in the stats a little bit. That's why you're going to see some Sabatini. Yeah, I'm singing. That's right. He plays here every year. He won here 9 years ago. So he's got that going for him. I like that. Past winners are always interesting. But he's missed some cuts too. He missed over the last 4 years. He missed 2 cuts. Was 17th 2 years ago and 36th last year. So not the best recent form. Pretty good course history overall with the win to go with that. So Sabatini's in play. Never Keegan. Harmon grades out really well. I play him. He's a good cut maker. So I like Harmon quite a bit here. Graded out really well. As far as I think I wrote something down here on him. I can't find it. Oh, he's top 20 in both around the green and ball striking. So and he's a kind of a course fit with the lefty. Left-hander sets up a little bit better is kind of the rumor. So I like that. I like Harmon. I'm going to plug him in here. There's Killer Keith Mitchell. He's probably going to be pretty chalky. Winner last year. Obviously known Bermuda putt specialist. But really, honestly, Harry Higgs as a pivot right there is pretty interesting. That perfect little pivot away in that price point. So I'm interested in Higgs for GPP. I think Mitchell's cash viable. I think he'll do well considering he won last year. But I don't think I'm going to play him. I'm probably going to pass. I think I'd rather play Higgs in a GPP if I was getting kind of weird in that price point and needed a guy. But on top of that, I love the Gooch. I always love the Gooch. He's a cut maker. 7,200. Doesn't grade out well, but he's just there all 4 days pretty consistently. In fact, I think he's top 5 in the streak of current cuts made. I think I saw my guys at Fantasy Golf Pod tweet that out earlier today. So when I was traveling, but yeah, and then moving along down here, Tringali is another guy, cut maker. Makes birdies, real consistent. I like Tringali. I'm actually going to plug him in here. Wallace isn't playing GPP for me. Look at this, Gooch. This lineup's done. Fleetwood, Horschel, Clark, Harmon, Tringali, Gooch. Yeah, that's probably damn near going to be one of my lineups. Yeah. So Furyk, Burns, Zhang, Ryder, Redmond, Lee. I'm going to go with no thanks. I'm Wallace in this range. And to be honest, I don't think personally I'm playing anybody below 7K this week. But I just don't see – I'm not playing Brooks, and I'm not probably going to play Fleetwood and Fowler on the same team. But if you are, you might need a guy down here. So I'll give you my 3 favorites. I'm going to fix this, though. Let's do this. Not that. That's dumb. We got to remind you this is Draft Manager. So yeah, let's do my guys under 6. We got 6,700. We're gonna go down to here. Not the barn rat. I mean, he is a legend, but I'm not gonna play him here. Chase Seifert, he keeps making cuts. If I was gonna go down here. Yeah, he was only 52nd at the Puerto Rico Open. It's hard to look away from Bramlett. The guy's just been damn near – he's on fire. Playing the best golf of his life right now. Look at 4 or 5 cuts made in a row, maybe more. What's he done? Oh, no, just the 4. So 4 cuts made in a row, a couple of top 20s in there, tied for 9th at the Puerto Rico, 13 under. I think he's going to be a popular GPP play again. Everybody's been playing him for weeks, and he'll get some ownership. So Bramlett, and then going down to 65. George kind of put me on him here. Grades out really well is Cameron Percy, and not only does he grade out really well, so he's top 20 in the field in ball striking and approach. And approach, ball striking and approach. That's over 50 runs. So Cameron Percy, and then the thing I liked the most when I thought about it was he's Australian, and Australians keep winning. So we got the Aussie narrative working there. So Cameron Percy, if you need a flyer, that's going to be the guy I would say to do it. But again, I don't think it's necessary this week. So that's going to do it. We had a little lineup here. Fleetwood, Horschel, Clark, Harmon, Tringali, Gooch. Man, that's pretty solid. I need to snap a streak here. I've been doing okay in showdowns, but my main lineups just been pretty. My cash lineup was okay for a couple of weeks, but not getting good on GPPs. This new cut thing's been, well, it's been a tough year. I think a lot of good players know that. I've said that, and it's been a tough year. So, but we keep grinding. So hopefully you enjoyed this. You're going to see a lot of me, like I said, in MLB. And hopefully hopefully I can become a part of your morning. That'd be really sweet. As you get a first look at your MLB DFS for the day. But it's still golf. I'd love to do more golf streams, and I plan on doing more as we approach. Definitely going to do one for the Masters when that comes. So watch out for that. And thanks for checking us out, draftmanager.com. Hit subscribe. Down on our YouTube channel, button down there. Like this video, share it even if you want, and give us a try. Thanks a lot. See you later.